All right, so with a little work and determination, uh, so we have the power brake booster, master cylinder for a front disc brake setup. These are just dead-ended here right now, okay? So they do need to be plumbed into the distribution block, and there's a proportioning valve that goes in on this side from the donor car, but the distribution block was the same. So we're gonna run with that. Let's look underneath here. New, and new. Sway bar link and bushings. The strut rod, new bushings there. Upper ball joint, lower control arm, bushing, ball joint, everything's new. We just cleaned up the spring, put some stock-like Monroe gas struts in place. I'm not going to bore you with details. The other side is identical. We did find, when we were doing the lower control arm on this driver's side, the eccentric washer that goes, because it's a weird bolt and it slides around to adjust your alignment. It was missing. So we stole it off of the parts car. Now, on to the main event. We have ourselves a shiny new Edelbrock square bore dual plane. Holley Sniper 2 setup. That's your controller and everything. That's all the wiring. That is the fuel supply kit for this, as supplied, and then a Holley retrofit fuel pump. So if you look, you cut the hole in your tank. It's got the foam gasket, and it's got these little ears that do what they're supposed to. You got some putting stuff together to deal with, as I screwed up all of our packaging. So that's a standalone in-tank electric fuel pump retrofit. Holley makes that. All of this fine hardware we bring in. We've got a great partnership with a major warehouse. So I'll shamelessly plug, if you need to just get an old ride out running and driving and enjoying it, which I always suggest first, you get a project, get it running, driving, and enjoy it. You get in that situation where you do need parts, or you need parts and installation, definitely look us up, and we're more than happy to help. So that's the next set. That's the next step. We'll move stuff around so we can access everything, and then we'll just start pulling parts off and putting new parts on. Now, with the brake lines, shameless plug again, we are dealers for inline tube. I'm going to inspect the rest of the brake lines through this rig and make sure that they're up to snuff. If they're crusty or need replaced, I'm just going to order the brake line kit. And if I'm not in error, everything else is pretty much in a stock location except for these lines. So we'll bend up new lines, and these really should run under the master cylinder, not between. Those are the only lines that we should have to make up. We'll have to trim the ends and put new tube nuts on some stuff, but that's all academics at that point. So here we are, 67 Rancheros coming along. The parts car is all but ready to shove outside. We have a parking spot designated for it under the awning, so it's going to hang out. Yeah, finish the plumbing and then bleed the brakes, get this fuel system in place, and mechanically it's handled. Oh, we do have a center section to put in the rear. So thanks for stopping by, looking at what we got going on. We keep all of the parts like that. There's all of our parts we took off the car to date. Sidebar, this setup for this car, from everything I can understand, the outer tie rods come from a 75 Granada, which leads me to believe that the discs and calipers and everything are going to be from that same 75 Granada. We may have to flex that assumption because the brake pads are at about half-life. So we're going to get it running, driving. We're going to see if these discs clean up just under normal driving conditions. And if it doesn't have the braking power or pulses or whatever, and we got to replace discs, that's our first go. Thank you.